Okay, so we already covered the dev video, we covered the new familiars and everything that we know about pets. Now let's get into the new zone, the new event, the new daily things you're gonna have to do, which are gonna be interesting, and the new Inferno difficulties, as well as something interesting that they added to the Inferno difficulties that you're not gonna wanna miss out on. Let's get straight to it. So the new zone, questline, and event, Southern Dreadlands. So this is the new area. Again, it looks pretty intense, very much taken over by whatever. But it looks pretty sick. So the new zone's main questline will take you to the growing encampment of the Grey Wards, into the interior of Stallbreak, and to the bottom of teeming ravens formed by the destruction of Mount Arete. So a new tower defense styled zone event where positioning and placement mean everything to your success. Take heart, the angelic sword of justice waits for those brave enough to seek it in the gully of madness. So again, this will be a zone event, which means you have to be in the zone to partake. It will not be a true event where you can go to like the events menu and play the tower defense mode. You have to be there at the right time. So basically it sounds very, very similar to the strong Storm Point battle defense thing that we already have that not a lot of people do. So I'm actually a little bit less hyped than I was originally, unless this is sort of like always available. You can go to do it. I think that would be cool, but I highly doubt it. I think this will truly be what they're calling it, which is a new zone event where you have to be there at a certain time to partake in it. Either way, I will of course try it out. If the rewards are good, I will do it a lot. That's basically like, that's going to be how they keep people going back to these new zones and taking part of these new events, is that they have to make the rewards worth the wait, worth the while. Is it better than overworld farming? Do I have the ability of getting a legendary faster or set item faster than I would if I was overworld farming? That's the question they have to be able to answer and or ask in these updates for the new zones in order to keep me and probably others in the zones for longer. Otherwise, I'll be in there for probably like an hour and a half, make one video, and I'll never go back there, which doesn't feel good either, because a lot of development goes into these new zones, and they look phenomenal. But we have new stuff. So, additional Inferno difficulties, and this is the part I'm most hype about, Solheim Reliquary bosses. So, Raik calls upon you once more, Wanderer. Another face of evil has revealed itself in 5 new Reliquary bosses. These malicious harbingers of anguish, Jesus, can be encountered across 3 new Inferno difficulties, 4, 5, and 6. To unlock Inferno difficulty 4, you must defeat Ceradon, Sky Sunderer in Inferno difficulty 3 and be at least Paragon level 1100. We are pretty well on our way. We're at Paragon. The server Paragon right now is 1050. And we, at least my warband and I, have already beaten this dude on Inferno 3. So we're halfway there. So it'll be pretty good. So it's about time that we thought we were going to be getting a new Reliquary bosses. I think this is a really underestimated and underappreciated addition to the game. I know that not everyone does it, but now that they made Reliquary bosses and the Reliquary system in general more useful, you don't have to be in a warband to really get all the benefits. I think this is awesome. To me, this is my end game. As a PvE player, the Reliquary bosses are sort of my end game. I like to be able to make sure I do the most damage I can. I min-max my builds to be able to help my warband out, whatever character I'm on. We'll, sometimes even go into, if we're going to be pushing harder content when we're lower combat rating, I might even choose a different class to help push that harder content. So I am very, very excited to this, because again, you do this, at least in my case, if you're an active warband, you do it at least twice a week. And yeah, it always feels good to have new content that you're going to be grinding. So double down on death in the Helix Surge. This is something that I thought was really interesting, but also such a good idea. So where there's one Titan of Hell, there's bound to be more lurking nearby. Felling any Reliquary boss on any difficulty has a chance to trigger a Helix Surge immediately after. Think of this as the burning hells sending additional opponents to hunt you down. In a Helix Surge, you'll have to topple a few additional random Reliquary bosses at reduced strength, but you're fighting more of them. Should you rise to the occasion, both rewards and bragging rights will be yours, spoils to claim. So literally, for doing something you would already be doing, you have a random chance at getting additional loot by beating these random bosses. I think this is so cool. I can just imagine, like, you think you're done for the night, like you're talking in Discord, like in your warband or whatever, and then you killed the last boss, you're like, yay, we did it, and like you're looking at the loot, you maybe even open up the item screen, and then all of a sudden like it starts to shake and you're like, oh shit, I got more people coming at me. I think it's really cool. And then especially the idea of you have no idea when it's going to happen. I love this a lot. And any bosses at any level, which makes it very free to play and new player friendly, where even if you're not at the Infernos 4, 5, and 6, you can still have these available to you at any difficulty. I love this. I love this a lot. Now, last but not least, let's talk about the Rite of Cleansing daily activity. So a new daily activity. At first, when I first read this, I was like, ooh, I already have such a hard time keeping up with my existing dailies. What could they possibly add on top of that? Let's review. So caked in foul demon blood from your conquest over the demonic scourge, your turn to a new service offered by Nisa in Westmarch to keep your body and mind whole. Now again, Nisa, however you say the name, is the new NPC coming to Westmarch for the familiars, so maybe this will tie into that. The Rite of Cleansing is a new daily activity where you'll earn Moonrite flowers basically, from culling monsters in Sanctuary. You can hold up to 99 Moonrite Flora, and each Flora has a strength value of 1 to 5. Sacrifice 5 recently obtained Flora to open one of 3 events based upon the total value of the Flora you used. So the higher the value, the harder the event, I will assume. The rewards you will receive from completing the event scale with the strength of Flora sacrifice and can consist of legendary items, set items, and more. So I don't know if this will actually be tied to pets or if this truly is just a new daily grind that they add that can give us more and better loot. Either way, I'm very interested to see what it looks like, and we don't have to wait all that much longer. Very excited about all of this and everything that we've already covered in our previous video, guys. We've talked about the pets, we've talked about the dev video. Honestly, I could not be any more hyped than I already am for this. Let me know what you are most looking forward to of everything that we've covered in the past few days regarding this massive update. And let me know in the comments below, and I will make sure to respond to as many as I can. Until next time, guys, lock it in.